Hello, my name is Kevin Anderson with the Avaya Serviceability Engineering team. This video is about configuring the network call log service on an AS5300 with the provisioning client. In today's demo, we'll be configuring the network call log service. We'll assign the service to a domain, we'll assign the service to a user, we'll remove the network call log service we provisioned, and we'll troubleshoot any error messages we have along the way. We'll be starting this demo with the provisioning client open. You can find detailed instructions in the Avaya Aura Application Server 5300 Release 2.0 using the provisioning client guide at the link shown. Now let's get started. I've just logged into the provisioning client, and the first thing we need to do is configure network call log service. Now this service requires a license key, so make sure you have the license key applied before you do configuration. So to configure the network call log service, we need to click on the Services, Client Interface, Network Call Logs. So this opens up our network call log service applet, and from here we can configure our service. For the test purposes, profile name, I'll just call it Kevin Testing. And we'll change the maximum number of inbox call logs, so we don't want them to use up a lot of resources, so we're only going to give them 10 inbound calls, and we'll give them 25 outbound calls. And then we just click on Save, and we can see that the network call log service was added successfully, and we can also see Kevin's testing in the profile list. Now that we've created a profile, we need to assign it to a domain so that it can take effect for those users in that domain. And if we just click on the Assign and Remove, we get the list of available domains in the profile Kevin Testing, and we can select one of the domains we want to apply this call log service to. We just click on it and we copy it, and that places it in as one of our selected domains, and then we save the change. And then we get back to our portlet and we'll have a message telling us domain list saved successfully. So what this is telling us is that the profile we created with 25 outbound calls and only 10 inbound calls has been applied to the domain we selected. Okay, now that we have the network call log profile saved to the domain, let's add it to an individual user. So the first thing we're going to need to do is apply the network call log service to the user's profile. So we'll click on Users, click on Search, enter the username, click on Search. Once we find the user, then we open up the user's profile, and under the Services tab for the user, we'll scroll down to the network call log and select it here. Click Save. And we get a message telling us that we've saved it, and now we need to assign the specific service profile. So now if we head back to our Services, Client Interface, Network Call Log Applet, select Kevin's Testing profile, and save. And this time we get the network call log user profile assigned successfully. And finally, the last thing we need to do is we need to remove the profiles from the domain. So we'll just click on the System Profile tab. So now that we know that we have a user and a domain, first thing we'll need to do is remove the user. So we'll just click on the user data. We already have the user in the search list, so we need to click on the delete to remove it from this user. And service affecting, so as always we need to enter in the admin password. And we get that the network log was unassigned from this user. So now we can go to System Profile. So we need to assign and remove it from the domain. So we just click on the domain and then click on Remove. and save changes. And now we can see that the profile was removed from the domain and successfully. And now we can delete this profile from the system. And once again, we'll get the admin password request because it's service affecting. And the network call log profile was successfully deleted. So now I wanted to go over a few common errors. And one is when you apply the user profile under user data, you'll need to make sure that the user has that service selected under their profile. So we click on the user data tab and then search for a user and then click on the double arrow search button. Now that the system's found the individual we're looking for, we just need to select the user system profile and Kevin testing and save. In this case, I forgot to assign the network call log to the user, so that has to be done first before we can apply to the profile. This is the next error I want to take a look at. And in this case, if I try to delete the profile before I remove it from the domain, I will get an error message. So we'll just try that. First, we get an advisory that it's a service affecting. So enter in the admin password, confirm. And since the profile is already assigned to a domain, it won't let us remove when it's assigned to at least one domain. So the first thing we need to do is remove it from any domains. So we'll just assign and remove. So to remove, we just select the domain assignment and we click on remove. And then save the changes. And in this case, we have it assigned to some users. So first we have to remove it from the users. And that concludes our demo for today. Thank you for your time today. We hope this information was helpful. We welcome your comments, questions, and feedback at mentor@avaya.com or on Twitter @AvayaMentor. Thank you for choosing Avaya.